For the 2011 Dallas Mavericks, the bitter taste of a devastating collapse 5 years earlier still lingered. So, as the Mavs began another quest for that elusive title, it was Dirk Nowitzki who would lead the way while redefining his own legacy. But for this year's Mavs to finally reach their goal, they would need to rely not on any one player, but on everyone. And together, this cast of veterans would realize the dream they'd been chasing their entire careers.
For the first time ever, the Dallas Mavericks are the NBA champions. They are basketball's best in 2011.
So as they entered the 2011 season, it seemed that the only ones who truly believed in the Mavericks anymore were themselves. From the start, the Mavericks showed that they would be a force in the West once again. And as always, they were led by Dirk Nowitzki. The superstar from Germany had been a free agent over the summer, but decided to remain with the only team he'd ever played for. After 13 years, Dirk had become a perennial all-star and one of the game's best shooters. Jason Terry, a former Sixth Man of the Year, delivered explosive offense off the bench.
Jason Terry has been a flamethrower!
Jason Kidd, second all-time in assists, had a new dimension to his game.
Three-pointer's good!
Caron Butler, a two-time All-Star, was a key weapon in the Dallas attack.
It's a 3-point, it's raining threes.
And Shawn Marion had built a reputation as one of the NBA's most versatile players.
Marion spikes it home.
The Mavericks also featured a deep and experienced cast of reserves.
Stevenson dials and drops it for three.
Barea. Oh, nice move. Shifting gears.
Peja wants three more.
Drive and a huge block. Haywood.
But this Dallas team had one key addition, Tyson Chandler. With a strong roster and a clear mission, the Mavericks steamrolled through the first 2 months of the season. The doubts about Dallas would only grow deeper when they lost two of their best players, as Nowitzki and Butler both suffered knee injuries. The team received a huge lift when Dirk returned after missing 9 games. But it turned out that Caron would miss the rest of the season, and the Mavs had to move on without their second leading scorer. With everyone contributing, the Mavericks recaptured their winning ways. By March, they were riding another sizzling streak of 18 wins in 19 games. The Mavs had racked up their 11th consecutive 50-win season, but all the questions about Dallas would never truly go away, unless they could win when it mattered most, in the playoffs.
Well, it's the most eagerly anticipated time of the year in the NBA. The playoffs get started tonight. The Mavs come in as the 3rd seed. Portland is the 6th seed. You get the feeling that the pressure is on Dallas because of past first-round failures.
As they entered the playoffs against the Trailblazers, the Mavericks were well aware that they were a team with something to prove.
Kidd finds Barea back to Kidd. Down to 6 to shoot. And 5. And off the bounce for 3. Good! The capper of a fantastic night for Jason Kidd!
The start of Dallas's playoff journey would be smooth sailing, with their battle-tested veterans leading them to a pair of home wins.
The Dallas Mavericks lead this series 2-0.
The Blazers recovered to win Game 3 in Portland, but when the Mavs took a 23-point lead in the 3rd quarter of Game 4, they were on the verge of putting a stranglehold on the series. Brandon Roy would lead Portland on one of the greatest comebacks in NBA playoff history. And as the Mavs' lead evaporated, it seemed they were still being haunted by the ghost of playoff failures. It was the kind of loss that might have crushed them in the past. But this time, it only strengthened their resolve, and Dallas bounced back to win Game 5. Returning to Portland, the Mavericks would close out the Blazers, putting their Game 4 meltdown behind them.
Dallas is going to take this first-round series against Portland.
In the second round, the Mavericks found themselves in the role of underdogs, and with good reason. They were up against the 2-time defending champs. As the series began, the Lakers quickly took charge, looking every bit like champions. In the first round, they let a big lead get away, but this time it was the Mavericks who would make a comeback, showing the resilience that would define their playoff run. In case anyone thought their victory had been a fluke, the Mavs made another convincing statement in Game 2. With the dominance of Dirk and solid play from the bench, they took a 2-0 series lead. In a scenario few would have predicted, the Mavericks returned to Dallas with a firm grip on the series, while the Lakers' 2-year grip on the championship trophy was starting to slip away. The Lakers came out with the desperation of a team knowing its season and dreams of a three-peat were in jeopardy.
Bynum goes for the steal and takes it away. Here he goes.
Leading in the fourth quarter, the Lakers had new life, but just when it seemed the series was about to turn, Dallas fought back once again. The Mavs were riding a wave of emotion, and when Jason Terry came out strong in Game 4, the floodgates were about to open. Terry's hot shooting quickly became contagious, and with his teammates joining in, it symbolized just how deep these Mavericks had become. Dallas ended up tying a playoff record with 23 pointers as they swept away the Lakers and ended an era in the NBA.
One of the great coaching careers of all time.
One more obstacle stood between the Mavericks and a trip to the NBA Finals. They were facing one of the rising powers in the Western Conference, the young Oklahoma City Thunder. Durant, the two-time scoring champion, made an immediate statement in Game 1, but Nowitzki would answer him shot for shot. But no matter what the Thunder tried, nothing could stop Nowitzki's outburst. Behind 48 points from Dirk, the Mavericks captured Game 1. They had now gone 6-0 at home in the playoffs. But that streak would end with a Thunder win in Game 2, when all the momentum shifted on one electrifying play.
Maynard off the inbound, gives to Durant. Slashes right away from Stojaković.
The Mavericks quickly silenced the Thunder crowd, and after losing the home court advantage, they took it right back. With one more win, Dallas would be in total command, but the Thunder were not ready to go quiet. The Thunder came roaring out of the gate, with Kevin Durant elevating his game.
Back to Durant. Bang!
Oklahoma City was doing everything right, out-hustling, out-rebounding, and outplaying the Mavericks, and taking a 15-point lead with 5 minutes left. But as they had already showed in these playoffs, the Mavericks could never be counted out. Putting the team on his shoulders, Dirk would carry Dallas on a remarkable comeback. He scored 11 points in the last 3.5 minutes as Dallas forced overtime. With the game tied and less than a minute remaining in the extra session, Jason Kidd finished off the improbable win.
Good three-pointer, Jason Kidd.
A crushing defeat for the young Thunder, and the Dallas Mavericks take a commanding 3-1 lead in this Western Conference Final.
With a chance to eliminate the Thunder and punch their ticket to the NBA Finals, it was Shawn Marion who would spark Dallas in Game 5. The game was still hanging in the balance until Dirk hit the biggest shot of the night.
Nowitzki for the lead. Bang!
And finally, the Mavericks had earned their shot at redemption.
For the second time in franchise history, the Dallas Mavericks will play for the NBA championship. And 5 years after the fact, there's this matter of unfinished business.